Welcome, everybody, to Quality Inside live stream on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Look, we're really privileged today to be joined by the team for Touchstone Lifecare, and a special call out to anyone that's watching this live. And we're joined by a couple of people, as you'll see on screen, that have joined in, and they're more than welcome to ask questions. Also, anyone watching live, you've got the ability to ask questions via chat or via LinkedIn. Just feel free to type them out, and one of the team will call them out for us. And also, a special welcome to anyone watching this recording in future dates. You're more than welcome to chime back into this whenever you like. So, a special welcome to you. Look, we're really privileged, and I don't say that lightly. Really privileged to be joined by Dr. Merryn Cooper. Dr. Cooper has obviously been in the clinical field for quite some time. Saw a need and fulfilled a gap, which is just very much needed in that residential aged care space, but also extends much broader than that. So, Merryn, I'm going to just hand over to you to do a quick introduction and welcome to a live stream.
Welcome. Thanks for having me, Brad, and thanks for having me, Lisa. It is a privilege to be speaking with you and all of the people here from Gadigal land here in Sydney. You are quite right that advanced care plans are important for people within residential aged care facilities and beyond. Anybody who's over 60, anybody who has a life-limiting illness, anybody who is at risk of dementia should have an advanced care plan now. There are even more than that, but they're the three groups who need one right now.
Yeah, so when we look at an advanced care plan, so in our world, we tend to speak in our acronyms and our shop talk. But can you explain what an Advanced Care Directive is, and why is it so important for people over that age bracket you discussed, and those in later stages of life?
Well, what it is, it's a picture of you. It describes who you are and what's important to you. And why? It's to inform other people who are going to be making medical treatment decisions about you in the future. And so if you are in those age brackets, you are more likely to lose the capacity to speak for yourself and not be able to make those decisions and rely on others to make it. And what's really important to get clear is it's called an advanced care plan. It's not an advanced care, it's not an advanced treatment plan. So there's care and there's treatment. So your advanced care plan will set the scene or direct the care that others will make treatment choices about.
Yeah, and I can imagine there's been quite a number of times in your experience and those of your colleagues around you where you've got someone that's come into a situation, and then the family have had to make some really tough calls, and they're not necessarily the calls that person would normally make. And that stress on that person has got to be immediate and telling.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge, Brad. Look, I had a lady come to me in tears one day saying, thank you for doing this, because she was in the car with 3 children driving them home from school. And she got a call from ICU. Her father from a residential aged care facility had a stroke. ICU were calling. Would she say yes or no to life support? And she made that decision with 3 screaming kids in the back of the car. And 5 years later, she was still guilt-ridden. Was I even in the right frame of mind to make the right call? And then as a doctor in emergency, I remember one lady, she was in her late 90s. She had dementia and had dementia for 10 years. And when she came in with pneumonia, I had to ring around to try to find her family. It took half a day. So the care is delayed. If we can't make fast decisions, your care gets delayed. And the daughter said, oh, I've never discussed this with Mum. You'll have to call my brother. He's in London. And I don't speak with him. So she was not prepared to make any calls. What do? Wait for 12 hours when a lady's life is at risk. So you don't get the care you want. You don't get it fast enough. And your families have to make decisions they're just not prepared to make.
And I guess, Merryn, as a doctor in that ED department, you've got that I suppose, that ownership around that situation. But there's a number of other clinical people involved in the care of someone that's got to try and find this paperwork quickly and effectively to be able to hand that information over, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Anthony's pretty well versed in that and can speak with you about that, because he's talking to facilities all the time who have to come up with these documents, sometimes with casual staff, agency staff who don't know where they are in the middle of the night. So maybe Anthony wants to tell some of the stories that you've heard from facilities who have to come up with these plans quickly and just can't find them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And look, there's a myriad of benefits to providers, but that's just one of them. I can touch on that, and I'll expand on them all when I'm called on. But yeah, what we're talking about is saving staff time and improving workflows. So pretty much our platform allows a resident's advanced care plan to be created and uploaded on admission. And then once that's done, it allows easy access to that advanced care plan. So what that does is eliminates duplication and manual handling errors, and that's big when when resources are stretched, especially throughout the night. So that's a big advantage for aged care providers and their staff. I'll expand on the benefits later, maybe as well.
Yeah,
and there's a myriad of them.
Yeah, and I think just touching back onto Maren, your experience in emergency departments, I'm sure you've come across some people that they want to make their own decision. They want to be a part of what happens in life. Have you got an example where you've had someone that's in fear of what someone else is going to do to them?
Oh, all the time. Too many times. People's wishes get Chinese whispered and changed. So you have to have them in a really comprehensive, robust format that is shared ahead of time and discussed ahead of time. So it's not Chinese whispers. But there's one lady I remember, and she was 95. She was beautifully made up, living a completely independent life, and doing her own makeup. She fell and broke her right arm. And we said to her, we can fix that. We can give you surgery, fix that, and you'll go home and retain your independence. But of course, at 95, there are some risks to surgery. And she said, I don't want the operation. And this is the importance of having really good quality advanced care planning. When we said why, when you asked the question why, she said, my sons don't want me to have it. And when we said why, she said, because their father died and they'd never had a chance to say goodbye to him when he died on the table, and they don't want that for me. So we went through an advanced care planning process. She spoke about what was important to her for life, which was independence, and she did not want to be in a situation where she could no longer dress herself or care for her, shower herself. Her sons understood that. She went and had the surgery. Everything was fine, and she retained her independence and lived alone at home, completely independent. So your advanced care plan helps you decide a lot about yourself, and then it must be shared with other people who are going to make these informed decisions about you. They will use your plan to advocate for you.
Yeah, and that's got to be vital. And I know that in the residential aged care setting, that thing of choice is really something that's honed in quite a lot. We've just had, before we go on to sharing the screen, Maren, we've just had a question from Kim. Great question, Kim. It'd be great if it was able to be found on the My Health record. I'm sure, Anthony, you might touch on that, but we will come to that question, Kim. So thank you for that. Maren, I'll share the screen for you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep.
Look, here's a slide that shows you the importance of sharing the advanced care plan. Even if you start your advanced care plan over here, number one, you can have discussions with whoever you choose over a period of time, and you can upload additional documents on the Touchstone Lifecare system, and you can also upload it to My Health record. So then, using the Touchstone Lifecare system, that advanced care plan will automatically be shared with whoever you choose with your residential aged care facility provider, with your home care provider, with your GP, your trusted contacts, and with My Health Record. And it's available as a QR code. So somebody can front up to an ED with you and have a QR code printed or on their phone that the emergency staff or the ambulance staff can access and see your live advanced care plans. Even if you changed your mind yesterday, that's the single source of truth that everybody has access to. So it's a belt and braces approach, because we don't know when your advanced care plan is going to be needed, or by who's going to be the one to access it. It might be your neighbour, it might be a doctor who uses My Health Record, or a hospital who uses My Health Record, or your care provider, and it can be available on their clinical management system.
Yeah, wonderful. And I guess the importance, I'm just going to take that off the screen for a sec.
Sure.
Just let me know if you want to back up. And I guess the beauty of what you've put together here is it's a digital offering that holds this Advanced Care Directive and the wishes for the individual. Why a digital platform as opposed to anything else that was available in the market?
Look, other forms, certainly you can print out your wishes using Touchstone Lifecare as a piece of paper, but the Touchstone Lifecare program allows you to go through a decision-making tree, if you like, where you're guided through some questions that help you answer the next questions and prompted along the way. But then the written or PDF or printed form has got all the emergency stuff at the top that doctors need to know in a hurry. So that's a really crucial function. The way you make decisions about emergency care is slow and iterative and over time. But when you have to enact an advanced care plan, you've got to have access to the emergency questions at the top. And residential aged care facilities are saying to us all the time, I actually need that CPR or NFR at the top quickly, not buried in 24 pages of paper that I can't find. Or I need, who is the funeral director? I need that on the floor, not buried in 26 pages of a downloaded form. But importantly, Brad, and you will see this next Tuesday night in the budget coming out, it's all about digital health. There's $950 million coming out for digital health. Interoperability, that is where healthcare, aged care, medical care is going. Faxes are out. So if there is no other way of sharing your piece of paper, it will not get to the destination. It has to be live. Now, not just an updated PDF that can be out of date, that can still be illegible, that can still have, I've been giving CPR to people and they've had every box ticked. Whereas a digital system will say you can't tick contradictory boxes.
Yep.
So there's a degree of auditing as you go. There's a degree of double checking. There's a degree of instancy. So 24/7, in a moment, that advanced care plan is there. I've been the doctor trying to find a GP on the weekends, trying to find a lawyer after 5 p.m. with a piece of paper stashed in somebody's drawer. Digital is the only way. And if you've got kids and you think they are going to go looking for a piece of paper when they get that emergency call, no. The only thing they pick up to run to the emergency department is their phone.
Yep.
It has to be there.
And I guess what I really loved about your system is, and coming from a residential aged care setting, you could have an agency staff member, you could have a staff member that's new to the facility. The accessibility that not only that staff member can have to the Advanced Care Directive, that can go with the resident to the ED department. It's also the access for ambulance officers and other people that can be pointed out where it is. They scan the barcode, they can take that with them. And that ED doctor, as you said before, they can make quicker decisions and informed decisions using that individual's consent. So I really love that aspect of it.
That's exactly right.
Excellent. So Anthony, we'll bring you on to give Merrin a breather. Anthony, can you talk to our live chat audience about what what are some of the advantages to providers? So it could be residential aged care, home care providers, NDIS, or retirement living. What are the advantages of having a product like TLC?
Thanks, and good afternoon, everyone. Look, what I'll do, there's essentially six main advantages for all those providers. I'll quickly run through them and give you a summary of each. But first and foremost, number one, it allows compliance with the aged care quality standards. So, and pretty much those standards are all the way from 1 to 8. Okay, so that's very important as they become more prevalent, obviously, in the aged care industry. Number two, it allows access to ANEC funding. Okay, so access class 1 funding is specifically for individuals that enter residential aged care for palliative care. So, the Advanced Care Directives are essential for palliative care, and Touchstone Lifecare's platform essentially streamlines this process, okay, in the way that it eradicates all that double handling and allows easy storage and access to an advanced care plan. That's number two. Butt in if you have any questions as well. But number three, essentially, Touchstone Lifecare will allow an aged care provider to meet its needs for digital transformation. So what we mean by that is it positions an organisation to be able to demonstrate adherence to the Department of Health expectations. And I'll just run you through some of those dot points that they're looking for. So consumer access to the data, eradicating duplication that we've touched on, more time for staff to provide care, improved crisis response, better evaluation of service provision, and again, improved data quality and data sharing. That's number three. There's three more. One I touched on before was around saving staff time and improving workflows. So essentially, how it works is, we allow a resident's advanced care plan to be created or uploaded prior to entry as part of admission, onboarding procedure, or even after entry. So that's, saving staff time and improving workflows. Once it's uploaded, it can be edited by those who are authorised and managed as a single source of truth, again, eliminating duplication and manual handling errors. So it's this is probably one of the biggest cost benefits of our platform within the residential aged care setting, obviously home care and disability as well. Number five is very important as well, and we call it risk mitigation. So we touched on this as well. Reduced emergency crisis, a printable QR code which allows emergency responders and support staff to access it instantaneously, 24/7 actually. So that reduces a lot of risk in these situations. As part of risk mitigation, another point is all about improved data security and sovereignty. So elimination of manual handling and double handling. All data is encrypted at rest and transit, so it's held in Australia. And again, the elimination of paper documents, and Merrin already touched that, then the use of faxes will not be allowed anymore. Pretty much number six is all about allowing an operator to have a competitive advantage at this time. Customers can use their own choice of advanced care directives or form, bypassing Touchstone Lifecare's questionnaire if they choose. But the 5-star ratings and customer experience are very important now. And this advanced care planning process that we can put out there is part of that 5-star care rating. So it's all about customer experience. So that's pretty much it. Has anyone got any questions? I hope I was articulate enough in the benefits to aged care providers and the like.
Yeah, we haven't had any more questions
come on. I
wasn't
on mute.
No, you're good, mate. You're all good. I think, Anthony, one of the...
I'll have to do that again.
That, Brad, what we also find with people in residential aged care facilities is they're a little unsure about doing the advanced care planning. They don't know how to do it, how to guide the resident. So what we offer is a guided system for both the staff member and the person doing it. Everything is tested on people who have almost no digital literacy. Everything is tested on people with a little bit of cognitive decline in their 90s. And everything that you need to tell the person is on the screen. So one of my backgrounds is in decision making, how to help people make complex decisions. And the best practice is you break it down into lots of little decisions. And that's exactly what the Touchstone Lifecare system does.
Yeah, and brilliant. And I've been through it with the team on a demo, creating a Advanced Care Directive, and it is quite simple and easy. I found it not a painful. There's some questions there that are confronting, no doubt, but I would rather make those decisions on my behalf than have my wife or kids have to face those decisions. And when I speak to my parents about the same thing, they're very forthright about where they stand on certain areas. So I think it could be a bit of a misnomer sometime, worrying about what mum or dad might think in having this discussion, because they know what they want, and they want to be able to articulate it. So thanks, Anthony, for that, and Merrin.
Just quickly, Brad, was Kim happy with the question? Was Kim happy with our answer to that question regarding my health record?
Yeah, Kim's come back saying, wow, that's awesome. Such an important document. Okay. Thanks, Kim.
Fantastic. Excellent.
Just in wrap up, Anu, do you have any questions at all? You're our man on screen. You're representing the millions watching right now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Anthony and Dr. Cooper, for the presentation. Not necessarily, I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to sort of echo that coming from retirement living, having managed retirement villages and now looking after the state care, I can see so much value in this. Having seen residents who, even in retirement living, which is typically a younger cohort than residential aged care, some of the residents might not have thought of advanced care planning, but when that situation happens, sometimes it's a bit too late. And everyone's running around scrambling to find that information. Having that QR code, and I think that would be perfect. And I could, when Dr. Cooper and Anthony were explaining, I could imagine, in retirement living, having that QR code sort of printed even on someone's fridge. So if after hours, if paramedics were to attend, they've got that information, ready at hand, most up-to-date information. We're not relying on staff or family members for that. So this is wonderful. Thank you for the presentation.
No, and thank you for jumping on. It's brilliant to have people contributing to the conversation and adding some value. So thank you very much. And your example was spot on. It's actually the thing I was thinking of in retirement living, that it's midnight call. It's husband or wife has had an issue, and then they're in panic mode because what do you do next? And the village manager is not going to be there. It's all it'd be panic stations everywhere.
Very, very definitely suitable in retirement living, because again, unlike residential aged care where there is 24/7 staff, nurses at hand, all that sort of stuff, not necessarily is the setup in retirement living. So you're not relying on staff and family member, then a system like this is there at hand.
Yep. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're coming to the end of our broadcast. Just a couple of things around how providers and individuals can jump on and sign up to Touchstone Lifecare. There's a couple of avenues. So the first one, Lisa has posted a link in the comments, and there will be further links in comments to how to book a demonstration if you need it, or if you'd like to order some licenses, you can do that via the forms. Both Anthony and Amira and myself are quite happy to do demonstrations for anyone who wishes to have a further look. Merrin has always said she's available to jump on and talk through stuff, which we're very grateful of that input. But yeah, there's a couple of different avenues. You can also go to the Touchstone Lifecare website and check out how to book. And soon to be, it'll be on the Connect the Dots website where individuals can click on a link and it will take you through to an order. So there's a couple of different avenues. They'll all be posted in comments at the end of this broadcast. Is there any final questions, thoughts from anyone online? You're all... Merrin would be just about ready for a drink after a long flight.
A long drive. Look, I honestly was at a conference this week about interoperability. There were people talking about advanced care plans and palliative care plans as being essential for guiding care. It is becoming increasingly in the normal to think about. And I want to echo your comments, Brad, that every elder person I've spoken to says, thank you for having the conversation and bringing it up. So don't be scared. It's a matter of asking polite questions. Have you thought about what might happen in the event you had something happen and we had to take care of you? What care would you want?
Yep. Spot on. Thank you, everyone who's joined us on screen. Thank you to everyone who's chimed in. I've only seen Kim's comments come up, but thank you, Kim. And everyone have a nice afternoon. This broadcast will be available to look at again via LinkedIn, via recording, and also on YouTube and Facebook. So thanks once again, everyone. Merrin, Anthony, Anu, thank you very much. Lisa and Amira, well done. And we'll talk to everyone soon.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a good
Pleasure.
afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.